If you are an independent artist, you are also an entrepreneur. You cannot get by with this belief that you're just going to make your art and it's just going to be so authentic, so good that it'll be find the right person at the right time and then it'll just spread by word of mouth. It'll go viral, or you're just going to be so authentic that resonance will translate to all of your fans and then them paying you for your art to be living as an artist. This is wishful thinking at its finest, and artists like myself have been very guilty of this. I'm inviting you to think very differently and to take your power back rather than just sort of hoping that the world opens up to you. So you can make the mistakes that I've made. You can sit around in this wishful thinking, in this fantasy, and hoping that this dream will just come true by pointing at the rarest of examples like, I don't know, Justin Bieber or Oliver Anthony. But those are the exceptions. And if you actually want to take some control over your career and take initiative into growing your audience and finding ways for that audience to support you, you'll need to step into owning the fact that you are also an entrepreneur. So I'm not going to go into every aspect of this, but I do want to help us understand that this basics of marketing and sales. And I know as an artist, hearing those words just make your skin crawl. Like, I get it. Often as artists, we're so in our feelings that we resist that idea that we're selling our art, whatever it may be. But I'm going to help you understand how the world works. And if you've worked in marketing, you know what this is already. But many artists are completely oblivious to just this basic marketing, messaging, growing your audience, and funneling that into sales. It's how the world works. And you're a part of this system, whether you realize it or not. So look at Coca-Cola. They are a globally recognized brand. Everybody knows who they are in the world, but not everyone drinks it. You have people like me who will have a Mexican Coke a few times a year. You have people who drink it somewhat regularly, and then you have those disturbed individuals who are killing their bodies by drinking it almost exclusively. And you probably met these people, like the weirdos that have Coca-Cola paraphernalia all over their house. They have like a teddy bear with a Coke shirt on. They're obsessed with it for some reason. This is the kind of person that gets offended if you offer them a Pepsi, right? But this is the person that you want as an artist. You want this person to fall in love with you as an artist. So your goal is to spread awareness like Coca-Cola has globally. You don't have to be global yet, but your goal is to spread awareness of your art to a wide swath of people. And little by little, that passion and that support system tapers down into that hardcore fanatic that loved you, and they will buy whatever you make. They will support you no matter what. So you have all those people that maybe have heard of your music or your movies or your photography. You're in a conversation like, oh yeah, I've heard of them. Then you have the people next level down, which are the people who likes you. Maybe they follow you, but they're not always engaged in everything. And then you funnel that down into the person who's going to buy your shit and support your mission. And hopefully along that process, you're finding more people in that funnel to convert into your diehard passionate fan base. And this creates a loyal audience. So this is literally what happens with sales. Like I said, whether you realize it or not, you are playing a part in this system every time you log on to social media, every time you watch television, even driving down the street and you see a billboard. Those things are just to penetrate your mind with awareness of this product, this person, this service, whatever it may be. And the more and more and more you get brainwashed in a sense, the more those barriers to purchase something break down. You're creating trust. You're creating familiarity. The more familiar you are with something, the more comfortable you are giving your time or your money to it. And there are a ton of different strategies and ways to go about this as an artist. You simply need to decide for yourself which one you can do, have fun with, and be consistent with. So you have your continued work on your art. You also have a strategy to build that audience and widen that awareness of the funnel down to your real goal is of 1,000 diehard fans. And remember, these 1,000 fans are the people that are like the Coca-Cola freaks. They will buy the keychain. They will go to Coca-Cola World. I don't even know if that's a thing. These 1,000 fans are your fervent supporters. They're evangelists. And so how do you do this? Again, there are a million different ways. The most obvious these days is social media, but not all social media is created equal, right? So think of your particular craft and which medium for marketing would support that best. So it might be YouTube, it might be Facebook, TikTok, Substack. I'm a big believer in creating your own email, your newsletter, because that's a captive audience just for you. So the platforms are many, and you just need to figure out, all right, I'm going to act as an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure out a marketing plan within one or two of these that feels really engaging and the way that you can be consistent with it. You have permission to be imperfect with it, to stumble your way through. I get it. As an artist myself, I'm still learning these things, but that's okay. The fact is, just commit, go for it, bring more awareness to what you're doing, how awesome it is. Find the people out there, the 1,000 people out there that love what you do. And this is how every single startup, I've worked with entrepreneurs and startups before, and this is goal number one after you've made a really good product. The goal number one is to gain an audience, gain awareness, get people who love what you do, what you're about, your mission. And in your case, it's your art, but it's also you as the artist and what you're putting into it. So in your case, your art might be a tangible product like paintings or sculptures, maybe photographers, you're doing prints. Maybe if you're a musician, it might be a little bit different because you're not really going to make money off of the music. What you're really offering people as a musician is more the experience of the music. So you can do that in a variety of different ways. Offer new experiences and ways to engage with your music and find a path to financial growth. So if you already have a good social media following, some of you might already have that, what you need to do is say over 20,000 people, which isn't a ton, and you're not making a decent amount of money from that audience, then either your following is fake, sorry if that's true, or you haven't thought through the way to convert those passionate fans of yours into a sustainable career and monetize that. And again, I know that can sound kind of gross, but it's not. If you're making something that's awesome and people love it, then you deserve to be supported by that and by their passion. And a lot of people want to support you through that. So you kind of need to look at this as just a numbers game. And when people in sales and marketing look at numbers, it's just really help you understand your goals more clearly. So potential buyer just needs to get warmed up to you. And that's why you need to be consistent with your newsletter or your writings, whatever it might be. Be consistent with it. Again, you're just creating familiarity, comfort. You're establishing that you are actually passionate about this and you're not going anywhere with this. It's trust. So you're breaking down those barriers of resistance. People are connecting with you more and more. So let's just take a look at basic numbers, right? And I'm not great at math, so this might not be perfect, but it's simple. Let's say you have an email list of 10,000 subscribers, all right? 50% of them actually open and read your emails. It's 5,000 people. Out of those 5,000 people, maybe over time you convert 3%. And that's actually judging by sales numbers that I've worked with other agencies and things like that before. 3% is average, right? It's not great, but 3%. 3% of those people, maybe they support you on Patreon or some other subscription service. And now those 150 people buy an average of average $25 a month. Let's 150 people buy in, support you at an average of $25 a month. That's $3,750 a month. Now that's not enough to make a living as an artist, but it's some decent change to begin and you can start feeding that back into your system. But 150 is not the goal. The goal is 1,000. Now do that math. If you have 1,000 people at an average of $25 a month, what's that look like? Pretty decent, right? You're making a good living, doing what you love to do, and you just continue to feed into marketing and messaging of the value of what you do and your connection to your audience. So is this an exact science? No, I'm just throwing out possible numbers that will help give you some form into the goal and the vision and the steps you may need to take so that you can actually make a living and have a career doing your art. Will it take effort? Will it take consistency? Yes, it absolutely will. It'll take you stepping outside of your comfort zone more likely than not. But the ball is in your court. And you can get very creative with this, which feels very aligned for you, and make the most of it. So in my opinion, an empowered artist is one who takes initiative and takes ownership for themselves rather than hoping some like bullshit art dealer comes into the life or a record label shows up and they give you a massive loan you have to pay back, but then they take 50% of whatever you make after you recoup that loan. And then they also don't really do any real marketing themselves. They just pocket that and they'll send you an invoice for marketing. But you ask them what they actually did and they don't have any proof to show you where that money went. So it's all on you anyway. So keep working on your craft. Show your brilliance to the world. The world is full of individuals who love art and want to support artists like you. And in a world of 6 billion, I think, people, there are 1,000 diehard fans out there waiting to discover your magic and support you like those crazy Coca-Cola fans. And it won't be through magical wishful thinking. It'll be because of your commitment and your devotion to your calling as an artist. Thank you everybody who's watched this video so far. I want to share something with you all that I've been working on, that I just released a new photo collection through Darkroom. And there's a link in the description below. It goes to my Darkroom, and what I have set up here, you can just see some of what I do as a photographer. These are fine art photography, and I worked a long time. I actually took a bit of a hiatus from doing any photography for a while because I really wanted to get intentional about my vision and create something that felt really from my soul and my spirit. And this new collection called The Mystic Desert is something I'm really proud of. And these are limited prints. I only have 10 available of every print. And you can figure out what you want, if you want the paper, if you want it framed, whatever it may be. And for following along on this channel, watching this video, there is also a discount code that you can use to get 15% off. If you want to support me that way, go for it. Otherwise, I appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Vaya con Dios.